everybody, and welcome to today's Facebook Live. I'm Laura, I'm Carol's daughter. Some of you will already know me. As you might already know or not know, Carol and John are away this week, so I'm filling in. I have got little Harrison with me today because both sets of grandparents are away. So we're just going to see how we get on. He's just having a milk now, so hopefully, fingers crossed, he's going to be quiet. In the kitchen today, there's Office Laura.
Hello.
And then we've got Maria as well, you're going to see about. And I've just got a couple of things to mention just before we get started, so I'm just going to go through them now. So first of all, I've been asked to mention that the sale is still on until this Sunday. So all icing sugar bags are now £2. So if you're ready to place an order, now is the time to do it because it's a great offer and you need to get them while you can. The second thing I need to talk about is the classes. So you have to excuse my notes here, I'm just going to get the bigger print. So do you know that we run classes from our base here in Stockport? That's where the kitchen is. We do a Nifty Nozzles class where you can learn how to use the nifty nozzles, the Russian piping tips. They're the genuine tips. Sorry. There you go. Let me bring it in a bit closer. So it's a genuine Russian nifty nozzles that you will learn how to use. You'll use a lot of different techniques to help you, how to use them, create different effects, different designs, how to two-tone, how to do leaves, all that kind of stuff. So it's a good class. The next class available is the 12th of May and it's £99. There's only one space available that day. And then the next class after that is the 30th of June. So you can book them online on our website. You just need to go under Nifty Nozzles classes and it'll give you the list of what classes are available there. Some new classes that we've got coming up in September, but these are likely to sell out quite fast. So if you are interested, please have a look and see. We've got Natalie Porter coming on September the 2nd and 3rd. On the 2nd, she's going to be doing the Rose Reef class, which is the new cake trend for wedding cakes, which is flowers on hoops. And Natalie Porter is from Immaculate Confections. And on the 3rd, she's going to be doing flowers, buds and fillers. So again, they're on our website if you'd like to book on those. And the prices are there as well. And one last thing is Zoe from Fancy Cakes will be offering classes from October, but we're just waiting for more details on that. So keep looking on the website. We'll probably mention it on one of the Facebook Lives again so that you can have a look. So, so today we are going to be making these chocolate orange Crownies. Just pop under here, you can see them. So they're a cross between a brownie and a cookie, and they're very easy to make. They're a good recipe to make with kids because once you've got all your ingredients together, there's a lot of playing around, a little bit of rolling to get them into the shapes before you cook them, and the kids really enjoy it. And then the second thing that we're doing is these Whoopie pies. Now Whoopie pies is a kind of cross between a sponge and a brownie sort of texture, with buttercream sandwiched in the middle, so it's a nice little handheld dessert that you can have as a treat in the week or with friends. So those are what we're going to be doing today, so I'll just pass them out the way, if that's okay. So all the recipes that we do on the Facebook Live are recipes that are tried and tested. They're all on our website, which is www.sugarandcrumbsmixingitup.com. So it is on the back of the packaging, on the back of the icing sugar. It's just here. There's lots of different recipes on how you can use the icing sugars and the cocoa powders. So have a look. The idea of us doing this Facebook Live is just to show you what we can do with the sugar and crumbs, icing sugars and cocoa powders. Also easy things for new beginner bakers or anybody that just wants to have a go. We're not professionals in any way. We do this as a free class. Everything that we bake is then given away to people that want it. So the girls that are here now, the boys at the unit. So we are not selling any of it, so this is why we're not wearing aprons or anything like that. I have tied my hair up today because I've got my fringe cut too short and I don't want to get it in my eyes, but we are just doing this for you to help you learn. So as part of that, we have opened a Sugar and Crumbs All About Cake community on Facebook, and if you haven't already joined, have a look. It's just about us sharing ideas, you sharing your ideas with us, you sharing your ideas and bakes with us, and just so we can all help each other, give each other advice. You don't need to be scared or intimidated. We're all at different levels, but we're all hopefully in this group there to help each other. So if you'd like to join, it's the Sugar and Crumbs All About Cake community, and please have a look, share your knowledge and advice, and we will do the same. So let's get on with the class.
Can we just do a few shout outs?
Oh yeah, sorry. If we got riddles, I hope.
We've got quite a few people watching today, so lots of the usual names. We've got Rob Allen, Wendy Ann Preston, Geraldine Kisby, Iris Shuttleworth, Carol Mills, Lynn Billington, Nikki Shevlin, who has just been ordering her icing sugars and cocoa powders, so thanks Nikki. Julie Crompton, Jacqueline Heaton's with us as well. There's lots of people watching, lots of regular names, and like Laura said before, if there's any newbies joining us today, say hello, introduce yourself. If you're a beginner baker or a professional, absolutely brilliant. And say where you're from and if there's anything that you're looking forward to on the page. Just to let everybody know, because there's only 3 of us holding the fort today, we might not get around to all the comments and questions, but we will be going through once we're finished, and we will be answering anything that we don't get around to during the Facebook Live. So thank you very much.
Okay, brilliant. Well, hi everybody that Laura just mentioned, and anybody that she's not mentioned, thank you for joining us today. Fingers crossed this is going to go well. I did have a practice run with Harrison yesterday, and I've got a backup of stuff that I can keep him entertained. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with the Whoopie pies. Now they are, today I'm going to be using the cherry cocoa powder to make them. So I have already measured out all my ingredients, but I'll just have a quick run through of what we're going to be using as I'm using it. So these take a little bit of time to prepare, but they take about 10-11 minutes to bake in the oven. So I've already set the oven on, which is on 140, so that's already on. And I've already pre-melted some chocolate and margarine. So let me just put that under this camera here. So in here I've got 125 grams of margarine, and then I've got 150 grams of dark chocolate, and that just needs to be microwaved together on 30-second bursts until it's all melted together and there's no big lumps. So I've just got that ready because it's not very interesting to watch me microwave it. So it's there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over to the mixer and we're going to whisk our eggs. So I've got 3 eggs here, which I've already cracked, and they're just going to go into the whisker. So put that there. And then we're using 225 grams of caster sugar, which is going to go in with that. And we're going to whisk them together just so that they're nice and fluffy and combined. So excuse me for trying to speak a bit louder while that's on. And then in a separate bowl, I've got 250 grams of flour. So I'll just work on this camera here. So in with that, we're going to add in half a teaspoon of baking powder, which is going in there. And then I'm going to add 30 grams of the chocolate cherry cocoa powder. Sorry, Maria. We're juggling around Harrison at the moment, so powder. So we're just going to pop in 30 grams of the cocoa powder in there. Pop that out of the way. And then I'm going to add that into the flour and baking powder mixture and then just give that a stir through. So we've got all our ingredients ready. Okay. Put myself down. Okay, so we're just waiting on the eggs. So the eggs are mixed in as quick as possible. So I'll just run through what we're making. We're making a dark chocolate cherry whoopie pie. We are going to sandwich these together, which I've already prepared some. I'm going to sandwich them together with some buttercream later. But I've got in here the 3 eggs with 225 grams of castor sugar. I've melted 150 grams of dark chocolate. You can use milk chocolate, which is what I used yesterday because I prefer it. It's entirely up to you. With 125 grams of margarine melted together in short bursts in the microwave till it's all combined. And then I've got the 225 grams of plain flour, half teaspoon of baking powder, and 30 grams of the Sugar and Crumbs cherry cocoa powder. Again, if you wanted to do another flavour, then you can do. You just change the cocoa powder to the flavour that you're going to use, and then change the icing sugar to the buttercream to be a flavour that matches with it. This is what we're looking for with the eggs. So we've got the eggs all blended in with the sugar there, and then into that we're going to add in the melted chocolate and margarine. So all that goes in. I'm doing it with my left hand holding the bowl, which I don't normally do, so I'm trying my best not to drop it. Okay, and we're just going to give that a very quick little whisk just to get that combined. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to do is add in the flour cocoa powder mixture. Now I'm just going to put half in to start with, so we don't get a big mess when we mix it. So I'm just going to blend that in quickly. And then again with the second half. That in. And again, just a very quick whisk just to mix it in. So this recipe is already on the website. It's under dark chocolate raspberry whoopie pies, but I am making the cherry version today. So I've used the cherry cocoa powder, but I'm going to use the cherry bakewell. This is the bowl that I hate. But I got it up quite good actually. So just scrape down the whisk. There we go. And then I'm just going to whisk it, mix in these last little bits of dry powder around the sides. So what happens with this next is that it needs to go in the fridge for about 30 minutes. Just so it's got time to set a little bit. It makes it a bit easier when we're going to put it on the baking tray, but also it helps to keep the shape of the whoopie pies when they're being baked as well. So I'm going to pop that aside, and then, thank you Laura, I'm going to do here's one I prepared earlier. So here's my one that's had time to set already. So as you can see, it's a nice thick mixture.
Pop it under the middle camera for me, please.
So it's a nice thick mixture that's just a bit ready for us to scoop out.
Perfect.
Yep. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly pop that aside, and we're just going to grab the baking trays. Now you will have to do these in a few separate batches. There we go. Because you need to leave quite a bit of space in between each whoopie pie. So I'm just going to do 6 to start with. So I'm just going to use a tablespoon to grab a dollop, and we're just going to pop it on here. So they do spread out a little bit. So you don't need to flatten them down too much, because you can flatten them down if you wanted to. It depends what you want it to look like when it's finished. But I'm going to make these ones so that they're a little bit more rounded. So just get that on. Put one here. So I'm trying to do them a similar size. Oops, really dropped that on myself. Yesterday when I did my trial version, I had to nip out with Harrison for an hour, so I ended up leaving my mixture in the fridge a little bit too long, which didn't really help when I was baking them, because it had gone quite stiff. So half an hour is what you need to be doing, and obviously it's not ideal to just be nipping out like I do, but this is what I do. So I've just tried to separate them a bit there, and I'm going to put that aside because we are going to have to do a couple of trays, but I'm just going to put one tray in. So they're going into the oven now, and they take 10 to 11 minutes. So we'll keep an eye on them. So just to be super organised, because I've been worried about Harrison being here, what he's going to be like, I've already made some yesterday, which were these ones that I showed you earlier, which are there, and there, and there, whichever camera we're on. So there they are. So I decorated those this morning, and then here is some I prepared earlier. Now they didn't come out exactly the shape that I wanted, but because these are they're a cross between a sponge and a brownie sort of texture, I was able to use a cutter to cut them out and get them neat, because they don't always come out exactly the same size. So I wanted to make sure that they did look the same size, because they do look better. So they're soft enough for me to be able to cut with this cutter, and now I've got perfect little rounds. So to make the filling for these, we're going to make buttercream. So just get rid of this mess, and we're just going to add a paddle. So I have just noticed on the recipe that's on the site there is a mistake, so I will change that. But it's 100 grams of softened butter that you're going to use. So I've already left my butter out in this kitchen, which is very hot. Haven't we, Harrison? Do you want to see? So just measure out 100 grams of butter, and then I have already pre-measured out. Hold on. So is that 76? There you go, perfect, 100. So we're going to pop that in the mixer, and I'm going to start that lightly beating. And then here I've got 200 grams of the cherry bakewell icing sugar, which I'm going to use for the filling. And then I'm also going to use the colour Splash pink, because it's just a nice colour and I like pink, and I think it looks better if you put a nice bright colour in the middle of the whoopie pies, just because they look more interesting. So I've got that ready. We're just going to add a little bit of that. So in with the 100 grams of butter, I'm adding 200 grams of icing sugar in there. And then I'm just going to add a little splash of milk. just so it's nice and soft. What are you doing? So that's going to take a little bit of time. I have made one earlier because I'm super organised today. So once your butter is mixed up, you're just going to add a little bit of colouring in that. So I'm just going to put that on really low because I'm showing you how to make it, but I just want to carry on and it takes a bit of time. So I'm just going to leave that mixed in there quietly. And here is one I prepared earlier. So it's nice and soft. I have overbeaten it a little bit so that it's nice and creamy and it's easier. And I'm just going to use this little fat palette knife to spread. So if you're not cutting your whoopie pies, you need to ideally get two that are a similar size to each other. But because I've cut them, they already are. So I'm just going to lay them all out ready. So I've got 4 here to decorate. And we're just going to take a nice big scoop of the buttercream, spread it onto one side, like that. Oh, perfect. Too many cameras. And then sandwich it together. You can put on as much or as little, just give it a little squeeze. You can see the buttercream come out, like that. And then we'll do these other ones. So it's entirely up to you how much you want to put on, and if you wanted to add a little bit of jam on here, you can do as well. That's perfectly fine. So a little squeeze, and then again. I'm just doing 4. I've already done 4, but just to show you what you're doing. So these are, I don't know whether you can see, but they are really soft. They're like that brownie sort of texture. So they're nice and soft. So it makes it easier for you to eat them. It's just like eating a little brownie sandwich, I suppose. Which who could complain about that? And then again, like that. So we've got our little whoopie pies here. And then the last thing to do is just to grab a little bit more of the icing sugar. Right, sweetheart. Take a little sprinkle of the icing sugar and just top over the top like that. And there you go. They're done. Okay, you see them? You see them on camera alright? So I'm just going to add them onto this other plate here. And these keep for about 3 to 4 days. If you're making them for an occasion or a party, then you could make them the day before or on the day. They're quite easy to make, quite quick, even without all the jumps that I've just done. But I'm trying to get better at this and show you how to do it all without having to wait for it and it be too hot. So I'm just going to pass them over there. And I'm just going to add a little wipe down. So I just need to keep an eye on those ones. So I will show you the other ones that are in the oven, but just for the purpose of today, I'm just trying to be quick. So a quick rundown of it. Is there any questions anybody wants to ask? Or
it doesn't look like there's any questions, but just to reiterate what you said before, you can pretty much use any flavour.
Yeah, so today I've used the cherry cocoa powder. You could use orange, you could use the lime, you could use any flavour, but obviously just match your buttercream to a flavour that you're using in your cocoa powder. But as you can see, very easy to make, quite fun to make with the kids as well. So the recipe is on the website, and you can print off these really handy printable versions of all our recipes. If you go onto the recipe, just towards the bottom there's a little print friendly option, and this is what you get. So it's great for when you just need it to hand, and that's on all our recipes. So have a look and just change it to be what you want it to be. So to move on to the Crownies, yes, you want to move on to the Crownies? We're just going to have I just need to quickly move some things out of the way so that we can move on. You alright, Harrison? You okay? Yeah? Okay, so Crownies. Crownies are a cross between a brownie and a cookie, and they are just a nice tasty treat. The kids love making these with me. I'm sure Harrison will one day. They are a little bit of fun. There's a little bit of preparation involved, but very simple, very, very good. So we'll move on to those. What? Hey, you're not getting enough attention.
Can we just confirm how long
Yeah,
in
so
the oven?
The Whoopie pies are going to be in the oven for 10 to 11 minutes. So they are nearly where they are. I can go over and have a little quick look. We've got a tea towel. There we go. Just have a quick look. So they're almost done. When they're ready, they should still look quite soft, but a little bit springy at the touch, because they are like a sponge, so it's pretty much like your sponge mixture. So let's get rid of that.
Even though Carol said she might not be watching today, she is watching. And she has said you're doing a fantastic job, Laura.
Good. I know what I'm doing. I'm super organised today, so I'm quite proud of myself. Okay, so the chocolate orange Crownies. Let's get started. So this takes about 10 minutes to prep, so it's another hopefully easy recipe. So everything that I'm going to use is going to go into the mixer. Let's get a paddle on. So first of all, we're going to start by mixing the butter and sugar. So I need 200 grams of the butter. So we'll get that ready first. I have got some of the ingredients ready, but not quite all of them. So in this one, I'm using the chocolate orange cocoa powder, which is there. So let's get measuring this out. So I just need to add a little bit to that. How's your fruit going on? Yeah. Okay, so I just need to add a couple more grams to this. There we go. 200 grams of butter, so that's going into the mixer. I'm just going to beat that just slightly while we get the sugars ready. So I'm using two different types of sugar. I'm using a light brown sugar, which I've already measured out here, and that is 100 grams in there. So that is going to go into here. So we'll pop that in as soon as it's ready, and we'll leave that to heat again. And then I'm also using a golden caster sugar, which is just like a finer brown sugar that's like caster sugar, I suppose, but brown. It just gives a nicer flavour, I think, when you're cooking with cocoa powder. So we just need 50 grams of this. There we go. So we'll pop that in the mixer as well. That's a little bit. And then we need 275 grams of plain flour, which is already there. And then I'm going to add into that 1 teaspoon of baking powder. is a half a teaspoon. 1, 2. I'm just going to have to stop a second because I'm going to have to get those water tines out. Bear with me a moment. These are ready, so stop under this camera, you see? Yeah. So that's what you're looking for. It's got a nice spongy sort of texture, which is nice to eat as a sandwich. So it's a cross between a brownie texture and a sponge texture. So they're ready. I'm just going to leave them out to cool. Pop them out of the way. So I just need to measure some cocoa powder next. So in this recipe we're going to use 30 grams of cocoa powder, and I'm using the chocolate orange. We're going to just add that into the plain flour and baking powder mixture. Okay, the last thing we need then is 1 egg. I'm just going to pop into here. And you just need to give that a little beat. To break it up. Okay. Okay, so in with the butter and sugar, I'm going to add in the egg that we've beaten. And then I'm adding the flour, cocoa powder and baking powder mixture. So I'm just going to again add half of that in.
How long would you normally mix it for?
The butter?
Yeah. So I said it's been going a while.
the butter and sugar, it doesn't matter how long you beat it for, it's when you add the flour. Once you've added that flour, if you carry on beating, you're going to knock out all the air that's in there. So it's only when the flour's in that you've got to keep an eye on it. Butter, you can just keep whipping it, it doesn't really make any difference. So I'm just putting the flour in and mixing it until I can see that it's combined really. I'm going to put the second half in. So again, just combine that. I'm getting it all over me. Not a day to wear black. So while we're waiting for that, we just need another baking sheet. So you can greaseproof paper your baking sheet, or you can use one of these. I don't really know what this is called, but it's very handy.
It's one of the Bako Glide.
Bako Glide. So it's already like a peelable. Because when you
it's a silicone one.
Silicone, yeah. So it stops it from sticking to your bake. So you can just pop that on top of the baking tray like we've done here, or you can use the good old grease paper. I just add a little bit of butter onto my tray first and then put that over the top just to help it stick and stop it from curling up. So either or, it's entirely up to you. Okay, so everything's combined in here and we've got this nice doughy sort of texture, which is what we want. And then optionally you can add in some chocolate chips. That's entirely up to you, but I like them better with the chocolate chips in because it's chocolate. So we'll add some of those in. So I've said about 100 grams roughly, but again that's up to you. So just a quick mix there, and then stop. Okay, so just get everything off the beater. And then we're going to bring it over to our baking sheet. I'm just going to scrape it down so that we can use everything that's in there. I'm just going to take my rings off. So this is where the kids like to get involved, but not Harrison. And play with the jelly. Sorry, desperate measures. He likes to play with jelly. Here you go. You play with that. Look at him. There you go. What's that? Sorry about that. Now keep it quiet, won't it? Okay, so what you want to do with your chocolate mixture, so it's here, you can see that? Is that alright?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you want to do is try and take a little bit out at a time. And again, size-wise, it's entirely up to you how big or small, but this is roughly the size that I do. So I'm going to do about 8 on this baking sheet. They don't have to be the same size, that's why it's another good one for the kids, because they don't tend to do everything the same size, but it doesn't really make any difference. So you just need to make sure that there's a gap in between each one so that it's got a little bit of space to bake, because it does expand out. Okay, I'll just do a few more.
And just to remind everyone, for anyone who's not managed to catch the full session, the post will be pinned to the top of the Facebook page when we're finished, and you can watch it back at any time. And also it will be posted up onto YouTube as well, normally by tomorrow.
Yeah.
And again, you can watch that back at any time as well.
Yep, so if you've missed it or you haven't got time to watch all of it, then yeah, you can watch it on YouTube or on Facebook later. Or if you have a little baby in the background that doesn't want you to do it, you can come back. Come back another time.
Oh, he's managing very well.
He is doing alright. Hey, I like messing with that jelly. Okay, so I've just got 8 balls there. This roughly makes about 16 to 20, but again, that depends on the size. You just need to make sure that you've got some nice spacing so that they've got space to expand. And then they just go in the oven like that. Thank you. Bring these over. So they take about 10 to 12 minutes in the oven. I'm just bringing back over the Whoopie pies just so you can see, and I'll show you what I did earlier. Oh yeah. So this is what it should look and feel like. And then what I did earlier, because I don't know whether you can see I've got a few different sizes, I just used this little cutter and took that a bit away so that I've got a nice even shape, so that when they're sandwiched together, they are sandwiched together uniform. So that's all I did.
Rob Allen said he would have done exactly the same. He would have cut them out while they're still slightly warm.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what we did with those. So the Crownies are in the oven. They're going to be about 10 minutes, but this is what you'll end up with. And then all I've done is just done with a bit of icing sugar, and I'll just snap one open, and there you can see it's like a brownie cookie sort of texture, so it's a little bit crisp on the outside, but it's nice and soft and spongy in the middle. So
They look delicious, Laura.
So nice and quick. We've not had any major issues. So I'll just quickly run through what we've made and the recipes. So I've just finished the chocolate Crownies. I've done the orange flavour today and the cocoa powder. The recipe is on the website www.sugarandcrumbsmixingup.com. You can get this little printable page off there, and the recipe and instructions are all there for you. And then earlier we made the whoopie pies, which again are on the website. So we'll just pop them there. Okay, and then I know it's been like super quick today, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I've just got a few more things to mention.
Just ask one question. What temperature are the Crownies on?
They're on the same temperature as the whoopie pies, so it's 140 degrees that I've cooked both of them on. Any higher than that and it can burn a bit too quickly, and then the centre's not really cooked through enough, so it's the same. They do take it takes a couple of times to get all of them in the oven, because you can obviously, with both recipes, you can make more. With the Crownies you make about 16 to 20 depending on the size, and the whoopie pies you end up sandwiched together probably about 8 to 10 in the size that I've done. If you wanted to make them small, you wanted to make them like more of like a little finger sort of whoopie pie, then you would get double the mixture. So, you alright, Mr. Jellyface? Yes. So, again, just to mention that we do classes for the nifty nozzles, the genuine Russian piping tips. They're held here in Stockport with Carol, and it's a great class. You do learn a lot. You learn different techniques, how to two-tone, triple-tone, how to fit them into your piping bag, how to do different techniques on cakes and cupcakes, and you get to take it all home with you as well. So the next class available is the 12th of May, and it's got one space left available. They're only small classes, it's 3 to 4 a class, so there's lots of time for one-to-one. Carol will help you with anything that you're struggling with. And then the second class is the 30th of June, again £99, a couple of spaces left there, and there will be more throughout the year. You just have to check on the website to see when they're going to be on. And then again, just to mention, Natalie Porter from Immaculate Confections is going to be here in September on the 2nd and 3rd of September. She's doing 2 classes, one which is a rose wreath class, the new cake trend for wedding cakes, flowers on hoops, and the second class is flower, buds and fillers, and their prices and bookings are both going to be on the website as well. You just need to search under classes. Zoe from Fancy Cakes will be doing classes from October, but so you just need to watch out for them. Don't forget about the sale, just to mention it one more time. It's icing sugars are £2 a bag, so it's great saving. Now's the time, if you've been waiting or thinking about ordering anything, now's the time to get them while they're on offer. And then there was some little Union Jack things over there. They're hidden under Harrison's pile of stuff. So, on the 7th of May, we're going to be releasing a new flavour, and it is lemon and elderflower.
And elderflower on its own.
And elderflower on its own. So, that's going to be available from the 7th of May. And then in line with that, we are now selling these Union Jack cupcake or muffin boxes for the individual. You can buy them separately. They're 30p each, so they're available. And then we've also got the Union Jack 54 cupcake cases for 99p. And then what else did I need to mention?
Perfect for the royal wedding.
Perfect for the royal wedding, yes, of course. Only in a couple of weeks' time. So yeah, new flavour, 7th of May. try it out and say,
Like and share.
oh, and don't forget to like and share.
One quick question. Sorry. Someone's asking, can the products that you've made today, can they be frozen to be kept?
I've never frozen the Crownies, but I don't see why you couldn't. But we can try that with some that we've got today because we've got lots. Because I've got some already made and some baking, some still to bake. I will give that a go, and if we can, I'll add that onto the recipe for both the Whoopie pies and the Crownies. I have frozen the Whoopie pies because I did have a couple left over and I just stuck them in the freezer, but it was only for a couple of days. So again, we'll do the same with those and let you know.
Fantastic.
If that's okay.
Lots of good feedback, lots of positive. Well done, you've done fantastic. Rob and Jackie both saying you've done a great job. Absolutely brilliant today. Thanks for showing us, and thanks for the information about the classes and the new flavours. So yeah, just to reiterate, there's a lemon and elderflower and an elderflower flavour to come.
Yeah.
They've been launched because, as most of you probably know, the royal wedding's coming up, and that has been the chosen flavour for their cake. And then obviously the Union Jack boxes and cases to go in conjunction with them. So thanks for everyone for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. I'm trying to make it really quick just because I've got little man here. I will be back next week. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be doing yet, but he won't be here, so it'll be a bit more relaxed. But this is my normal day in life in the kitchen, isn't it? Yes it is. And he's now covering me with jelly, which he's pleased about. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? So thank you for joining us, and I'll add the information to the recipes about freezing, and thank you very much. So don't forget to like and share. So goodbye from me and Harrison, and we'll see you soon.